Hello, everyone. I'm Renata Marino. Welcome to True North. True North is a video and audio podcast on overcoming adversity and pursuing our purpose. Welcome. I haven't been here in about 2 weeks. It's been busy, but I'm excited to be back. Lots of things, lots of changes have happened, and I'm here to talk about a very important subject that I think we all are, that it impact all of us, both in the personal and professional front, and especially with the recent occurrences as of late. With the shooting that just happened in Texas with innocent little children and a teacher. I really want to talk about the power of the masses, the power of community, the power of voice, but it's really about the power of people coming together. And in terms of change, making positive change in the world, and in terms of supporting all of us who need the support that we need. So I want to talk about this and the importance of it, and just reference a couple things before we get started. So as we know, and I did take notes so I stay on track. So really, this podcast is to help both men and women pursue their purpose and also overcome adversity, because throughout our lives, we all will at least face one big storm, if not multiple storms, in varying levels of degrees, in varying instances in our life. Sometimes when we're younger, sometimes when we're older, but all of us face challenges, and we need to overcome those challenges. And many, many, many times, what gets us through those challenges is community and is people. And it's really the right communities. When you have the right people in your court, the right people in your playground, the right people surrounding you, it's much easier to not just get through a specific challenge in your life, but most importantly, to pursue your purpose and to pursue happiness. So it is critical, and I say this all the time, is you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And this also includes people within like-minded communities. And most importantly, we've seen this through different instances over the past recent years, that community is what institutes and what creates change, positive change in the world. And one thing I want to say, this is related to the recent events, and this is related to all the recent events in the past couple of years, is things don't happen overnight. And when communities come together to petition change, to petition policy change, we chip away. We are one step closer to equality. And I think it's the people that are brave enough to assemble the masses and to create petitions in a peaceful way, who are really savvy at negotiating, who want to get in government and make change. These are the leaders, these are the people that we need to give accolades to, because they're in what they've done, and it's very difficult to do it. You have to be very brave. it's one step closer to where we want to be in terms of equality. So I want everyone to know, I think this comes with life experience and wisdom. A, it's important to speak up. B, it's important to assemble the masses and create peaceful ways to make change. But C, we have to recognize that it's not going to happen overnight. And it takes a lot of strength and a lot of leadership to chip away to make that one step closer to equality. So want to kind of kick this off with that premise that it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to change. It doesn't mean don't do anything. It means don't get frustrated when what you do and all the effort and how hard it's been to implement change, because you want to see radical change. It's not going to be radical. And it's just going to be one step closer to fairness. Okay. So I want to mention a couple of movements that we know the power of the masses, the power of community, and how it's instituted change. From a equality standpoint, obviously we've seen the Black Lives Matter movement. Prior to that, Time's Up, Me Too, those three, and then we also see equal pay change with the USA women's soccer. Again, when we see powers of the masses, petition signing, like equality of pay with the U.S. women's soccer, we need to recognize that small chipping away that one step closer is one step closer to having women have equal pay in the workplace, because it's sector by sector, it's team by team, it's industry by industry, and it's people who are active, people who are vocal, people who aren't afraid to stand alone, that experience that hardship, that pain point, to get on the mic, to utilize their platform to make change, and to not be afraid, to not hide in the corner and hide in the shadows, to really, many of those people, including myself, you have to be willing to stand alone. You have to be willing to be unpopular, but you have to be willing to stay true to your values and stay true to what's right, even though it's not what's popular. That's really the type of leaders that we need in this world. Those are the type of leaders we need. You're not looking for popularity and clout. You're looking to make change. And people know, people can see. So with Me Too, with Time's Up, with Black Lives Matter, those are 3 examples. And with the USA women's soccer, those are 4 examples of where people were vocal and they utilized petitions. They utilized peaceful ways to implement change. And again, it's not going to change overnight. Now, the part that I like is getting in the government with policy change. I think, yes, grassroots community and being vocal and having leaders leverage their platform is definitely needed. It's a bottoms up strategy. There's also the top down strategy, and that's when you get inside policy change in the government, which is something I want to get involved in. And it's hard because there's a lot of political navigation that has to happen. There's a lot of collaboration. There's a lot of compromise. And I have never been in government. I'm sure it's very challenging. And I quite honestly, the part that kind of steers me away is the political navigating and it's just, that part is not fun. And I think it ages people. I don't want to age. I want to actually turn back the clock, but I see a lot of people getting into government and policy change, and they age fast. But I have down here notes on the power of community, the power of the masses, both in implementing positive change within an industry, within the government, within a movement, in a peaceful way, and also, with our own personal lives in terms of joining communities, online and in-person communities. And in me personally, over the past month, I've experienced incredible energy, incredible support. I will say this. I'm going to say this. Both online and in person. So online, moving into a new industry, which is male dominated, I turned to Going VC, which is a community and classroom environment where you really learn from the bottom how to invest, how to analyze companies. Even if you're a seasoned operator, you really know the right way. And then the other in-person conference and online community that I was a part of, but just went recently to an in-person conference, is All Raise. Female founders, female fund managers, female investors in the venture capital space. And there's not a lot of us, but to be in a room with, how many were we? 300? Were we 300? 200 or 300, I think, was incredible. From all across the country and maybe even the world. But we're handpicked. We're handpicked. It's hard to get to. It was hard enough to get into that room. It takes a lot of grit, a lot of volunteering, a lot of pro bono work to earn the right to play in the space that's very male dominated. And so now it's our job. This was discussed at the conference. It's our job to pave the way for more women to work together, to not make it difficult for them, to open doors for them. That's our job. So community and the power of the masses is twofold. Is A, to make positive change with things like gun control, and we really need to, just like we did with the USA Women's Soccer and equal pay, just like we did with we're chipping away. It's not going to happen overnight, but we have to do that again. And quite honest, this is my second point. My second point is it's about negotiation and compromise. So listen. The issue is, and I hate talking about this, but I'm going to talk about it. This is not an us versus them thing. This is not Republican versus Democrat. This is not a men VCs versus women VCs. Okay. This is about what's best for, let's take it in terms of what happened recently with the shootings and gun control. This is about what is the most humane act? What is the most humane thing that we can do collaboratively? What is going to make you happy, whether you're Republican or not? What is going to make the Democrats happy? And again, this is about human life. This is about safety for our children, safety for the innocent. So let's not make this a I'm right and you're wrong. And just like in venture capital, just because we had an all raise, all women's, this is not about anti-guy. Most men will probably say Renata's about women empowerment. She's anti-guy. I'm really not. It's not. It is about, when you look at venture capital, it is about the return. It's really about the return. This is not I'm a double minority, Latina and female, and you're excluding me. This is if I am overqualified for a job, if I literally bring my entire network, my entire operation, my entire experience to the team, and you are keeping me out because you feel threatened, or maybe I'm more educated, or maybe I'm more experienced, or maybe I have more degrees than you are, and you are literally keeping me out and not funding me or not supporting me, you are actually, it is your own insecurity, it's your own ego, and you're not seeing the bigger picture. You're not seeing the return of your investors. You're actually not being a good leader, because it's not just about the color of my skin. It's not just about my sex, my gender. It's about my skills, my network, what I bring to how I see things. Being a female consumer when I'm looking at a deal or looking at an investment, you want to have people on your team that can actually return the fund, return your investments better than everyone else, which includes having a diverse, check-writing senior leadership team. Just the way it is. So again, it's about negotiation, collaboration. It's really about hiring your weakness. This is just what I wanted to come on. And so that's in reflection of creating change, positive change. It's looking at the bigger picture and not making decisions out of ego. On both sides, whether you're in venture capital, whether you're in corporate and you're trying to hire leadership within a corporate setting, Nike, Reebok, Kraft, Pepsi, you name it, Google, if you're not hiring diverse men, male, female, ethnicity diversity, and skill sets diversity, you're leaving money on the table. You're really hurting the bottom line. You're hurting the shareholders. If you really look at it, and honestly, once you find top talent, you snag that top talent. This is how I feel. I'm looking at my tweets. So it's about the power of community. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, so getting back to, if you're an individual, if you feel frustrated in your career, if you feel frustrated in your personal life, it's really important to join communities that are like-minded. As I mentioned before, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. It's not even that. You have to really recognize that the energy that they're giving you, are they bettering you? For example, I was just, I'm part of Jesse Itzler's, he's married to Sarah Blakely. He was a former founder, he's a founder, but he was a former founder of Marquis Jet, which he sold, and now he's a serial entrepreneur. But most importantly, one thing I love about him, quite honestly, is his energy and who he draws to in his world, the type of people he draws, very like-minded people with good values. I just participated in one of his big BYLR, Build Your Life Resume events. Actually, it's a new company he launched called All Day Running, and it was a half marathon. I camped. He just bought 80 acres in Rome, Georgia. We slept in tents. It was 182 of us. I met the minute I stepped in the parking lot and met all these people, within 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, wow. The energy, the goodness, the values, all different types of people, all different industries, all different levels, all different economic levels. I mean, literally unbelievable shared value system running up and down his driveway, which was half a mile up, half a mile down, 13 point and change miles up and down a steep hill in the Georgia heat with 181 other people at all different levels of fitness. People who I remember I was on my last mile or up the hill, almost about to complete. People had 3-4 miles more to go, were cheering me on, saying, great job. I mean, these are people who were struggling, they're not pro athletes. But again, it's so critical for us to sign up with people who are like-minded, that actually encourage us, that are like us, that encourage us to be better. This is how change happens. This is how we're supportive. This is how we overcome adversity. This is how we get through hardship. This is how we master success. This is how we stay happy, is we join communities with like-minded people. So I just wanted to come on here and state this based on the recent events, but also to talk personally about my life. And what really changed for me was reshuffling my deck, finding the people that share my value system, that support me, that want to see me succeed, that see my greatness, that see my leadership abilities, that want to help, that want to invest in me, that want to invest in what I'm building, and they actually want to spend time with me. They get energy off of me. And this is why I launched this platform, is so I can share my story, but also share my energy globally with people who need help, and to be able to voice my opinion about important issues like this. But honestly, when it comes to the power of the masses, it's really important as change makers, as leaders, that things aren't going to happen overnight. And even though it's really hard for us in terms of being vocal, using our platform wisely for change, we will see small changes. We will see small changes, but they'll be in the right direction. But the importance is to stand up and be vocal, and not be afraid to be alone and be an only voice, and really to do it out of the right thing to do, not due to clout and popularity and being famous. I see this. I see a lot of leaders who initially started out with doing things for the right reasons, and then letting it get to their head and turning it into more of a popularity contest. It's not. And I think we get wrapped up in it. I think humility, I called it, humble leadership. We need more humble leadership. You want to utilize your following. You want to utilize your followers and your platform for good. That's what I want to say. So I want to do cards. I don't know if that was too harsh, but it's really important for me. I just felt like I had to get that out. My favorite thing I like to do on True North, at the end of every episode, is these cards. So I have these cards are amazing. I actually want to brand my own and work with someone to brand my own True North cards, which would be great. So if there's somebody out there who wants to work with me on these amazing dinner cards, I actually use these for my kids at dinner. They're dinner conversation cards. They're great. These are probably great for a first date too. They should have these at restaurants. I think there's some restaurants that do. It's great. So I pulled a bunch of cards. I don't know what the questions are. I personally answer them. Eventually, if I interview someone on here, I'd like to bring someone on. I keep saying that, but I'm not inspired yet. So maybe I'd bring Jesse Itzler on here. Who else would I bring on here? There's certain people I'd want to bring on. I'm going to wait. But these are the questions I want to pose to them. So I'm going to do it myself. Let me get my glasses because I can't see anything. All right, ready? What's the happiest movie ever made? I mean, happiest? I mean, come on. Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz. Doesn't that put you in the best mood? I think I may watch Wizard of Oz. I can still watch it as an adult. I say Wizard of Oz. The original. None of this. I think it's the happiest movie. Somebody made a comment. I think on Instagram, I had a picture of this was over the past couple of days. I overpost on Instagram. And I'm damn proud of it. But I post play-by-plays of my life. But there's a picture of my boots, my cowboy boots, my favorite cowboy boots, which are falling apart, and a dress. And the dress is almost like gingham, kind of what Dorothy wore in The Wizard of Oz. And someone's like, someone said, a comment was, it's like you just have to click your heels together and your wish will come true. Or no place like home. I said, exactly. I say Wizard of Oz. Okay, next one. Ready? What's the best thing about the age you are now? I mean, this is it. It's wisdom. Life experience and age brings wisdom. I think this age brings wisdom. Age brings wisdom. There's a lot of younger people in their 30s that want to be in their 50s. You're not. You've got more time on your hands. You'll get there. I think life experience and having been through the numerous storms, and by the way, you can have gone through multiple storms when you're a little kid, when you're a teenager. But I think what happens as we age, when we have children, also we heal from a lot of the pain. So you could have gone through multiple storms as a little boy, little girl, as a teenager, but it takes life and time to heal from some of that pain, and to sit in anger and to sit in that sadness throughout your life is really can destroy your life, and it can hurt a lot of other people. So I think life experience and meeting people, the more people you meet, allows you to surpass or get through and heal from some of that pain. And I think the healing part creates wisdom. And I think it's our job as seasoned people, instead of, I don't want to say old, is to share our journey and sharing the healing process and provide platforms and resources and communities for people so they feel supported. I honestly think that should be our mission. If we decide that that's part of our life mission, is to share our stories and create platforms to help others. Next. Would you rather have an amazing sense of smell or taste? I have actually a pretty good sense of smell. I mean, I think smell. Because I don't know about anyone else, but when I smell something, even if I smell food, it brings back a lot of memories. Also music, hearing, but if I had this choice, it would be, because I don't want to keep eating things. I mean, I do like eating, but I think smells better. The smell of the burning leaves in Mexico City, it's a certain type of tree that they burn in Mexico because I'm Mexican and dual citizenship. And I was little, we used to go to Mexico a lot. And at the time, you don't do this now, but you drive through all the mountains, and there with a lot of poor people, poor villages. And we would do that in Tasco and like some other places. But the smell of the burn reminds me of my youth. It's great. And you see the sugar cane, and I just have visions. The smell actually brings visions of what I saw on the road. And I don't know, maybe 6 years old. Incredible. But I say smell. What's the best city in the world? I mean, I kind of think Mexico City, but I haven't been to every city. I actually like to go to more cities. But I'm going to tell you why. I remember my family lives in Mexico, and my uncle and aunt were having a family reunion. We have a family reunion every fall. But this was many years ago. I think I was just not even married. I think it was 2002 or 3. I don't know, maybe just married, but no children. And I remember their office, my aunt and uncle office is downtown in the Zocalo, Mexico City. And I remember at the time they had just uncovered the Aztec city, the ruins underneath Mexico City in the Zocalo. So they were excavating, and there was all this work, and you could see the holes, and all the basically city built upon city. Was the most incredible sight. It was an archaeological zone underneath the Zocalo. I say Mexico City has so much culture, but I haven't been into every city. I'd like to visit more. What's happening in your life tomorrow? I don't know. I haven't checked my calendar. I'd like to rest. I'd like tomorrow to be a day of rest. I may end up doing that. If it's a nice weather, I'd like to sit by a pool. We'll see. I need a day of rest. Okay, 2 more, then I'm done. Would you go? Hold on 1 second. This is my podcast. I'm telling you, you don't know what you're going to get with these. I wish I could ask somebody this question, but I'm asking myself. Ready? Would you go topless at a topless beach? No. I don't know. No, I don't think so. No. I mean, okay. I would if I wasn't like walking around. I would be laying down like on my stomach, but I wouldn't, just so I don't have a tan line, because I do that a lot, so I don't want a tan line, but I'm not going to get up. Can't believe I got this question. I've had people ask me this question, and not women. Professional people. Hey, women get a lot of questions. You should wonder how I answer the question. You should know. You should have heard how I answer the question. I can't believe this is being recorded publicly. And I'll put this. Do you want to know which beach just went topless? Nantucket. All the beaches in Nantucket. I'm actually really disappointed. I think it's not like it's Europe. I mean, this is my concern. I just think it's wrong. That's just my opinion, but I always give my opinion. I think it's wrong. I think these beaches have kids on it. I just think it's wrong. But again, that's just my opinion. It's just, we're not in Vegas. Nantucket is a classy, nice island. See? Cisco Brewers. This is my Nantucket. I'm manifesting my Nantucket house. So my mom's friend asked my mom what I thought about it, because she knows how much I love Nantucket. What do you think Renata will do? I'm not going topless on Nantucket. Someone's going to quote me on that. That's fine. Do whatever you want. Last question. This is a girl power one. I can't believe I got that question. Honestly, I can't believe it. Of course I get that question. All right. This is a girl power one. Ready? And then I'm going to go meditate. Kirsten Forsberg. I don't know who this is. Here's her quote. Conservation is a long-term commitment. It's impossible to solve an environmental issue or challenge in a day. What was I just saying? Things don't happen overnight. It takes a lot of time, effort, resources, commitment, and perseverance. That's what drives us forward. Listen, change doesn't happen overnight, and we cannot get angry and we cannot get frustrated that things don't happen on our timeline. Now, what we can do, quite honestly, is yes, from a grassroots standpoint, sign petitions, be a voice, come together in the power of the masses, so that our voice is heard louder when we come together as a community, as a group. Now, what is the stickiness? The stickiness comes from the top down, from policy change. Well, things can change, but the only way to make impactful change is with policy, in my mind, is also the top down. Not the only way. It's a bottom up and it's a top down strategy. Now, yes, things can change. Policy change can change, but policy can also change back. Now, so it's a bottom up and it's a top down strategy. That's how I see it. Which environmental problem do we have a chance at fixing? I mean, conservation, environmental problem. This is not tearing down so many trees. I think it could be at the town level, at the city level, at the government level. I mean, I thought about this a lot. I thought about this a lot with nature, the power of nature, how it's very healing. The more we tear down trees, the more we tear down the lake fronts, the shorelines, the less accessible people have to it, and you can't change it back. So I feel like regulation at the town level, at the city level, at the town level, at the state level, on what can and cannot, preserving land, so that people who don't have access to that can have access. I mean, I honestly think we could do that easily. It's very difficult to now climate change, and those are bigger problems. But the question was, which environmental problem do we have a chance at fixing? I mean, we have preservation. When you preserve and you're not like tearing things down, it actually affects climate change, because if the more you're taking away land and erosion happens, and then you have the climate change, and there's more oceans, and it completely, it's like a tornado of snowball effect. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. It was fun for me. I'm glad to be back. It's been a couple weeks, 2 weeks, but I'm hoping to do this a couple days a week with different subjects. If you do have a subject, please email me, info@renatamarino.com, and subscribe to my channel. It will pop up every so often, and would love to have feedback and eventually have some amazing guests on. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.